Hello and thank you for coming to my channel. My name's Lyndon, and in today's video I want to think about and talk about why using apps is so fantastic for your saxophone practice. And I want to share with you a conversation that I've had with people loads and loads and loads of times, and the conversation goes like this. So let's say that I've got a relatively new client, maybe like the second lesson, or maybe sometimes even the first lesson, and I'm showing them C major scale. And I've written the notes down, so written the notes down for them. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B and C. And I've underlined the root, the third, the fifth and the seventh, and I've played it on the piano and explained to them how important the chord tones are. Now often, and this is what I'll say to them, so in the past the conversation between the music instructor and the student has gone something like this: learn your scales, which by the way is the right thing to do. And then the student has said, okay, but why? And the music teacher has gone, why? You're not here to ask why, just learn the scale. And by the way, if you play any bad notes, I'll hit you on the hand with this stick. And this is just like the worst approach to music that I can possibly imagine, because it strips all of the joy out of playing music, it instills fear in people, and it makes scales completely pointless other than to pass an exam or tick a box or get a certificate or please a teacher. They've got no actual meaning whatsoever. And scales, it's my job to correct this, it seems, and you know, it's my job, and this is what I say to people, to make people fall in love with scales and realize how beautiful they are. And one of the ways that I do that is by using an app, and there's loads of apps that you could use, and the one that I'm going to demonstrate is one of my favorite apps, which is a session band app. By the way, I'm not being paid by Session Band or any other app manufacturers, although I am open to that possibility, but I'm not being paid, so I'm just telling you this because I believe it and I think they're fantastic. And here I have my Session Band app on this is Session Band Soul Jazz Funk Volume 3, and it's on a C major, and I have muted off the tenor and the clav just to slim it down a little bit so it's not too much. So then I would play the scale, which I'm going to do now, to this app, and listen to how lovely it sounds when you play it with an app. So it already starts to sound really nice. Then I would say to that person, if I just do exactly the same thing up and down, but just throw that scale around a little bit, it will sound like this. And that starts to sound really, really, really nice. And then I would say, if you hit the root, or if one of us hits the root, the third, the fifth and the seventh, that will sound really nice because I've explained to them that they're the chord tones. And then if I hit the B, the G and the E, that's going to sound really, really nice and make me sound like a saxophone wizard. That's usually the language that I use. And have a listen. Starts to sound really nice. Then I say to him, if I throw those notes around, the B, the G and the E, if I just throw them around a little bit, if I practice and I get comfortable with moving around, it will sound like this. also I'd be getting them to play the 7th, the 5th and the 3rd, the B, the G and the E, and experience what that's like. Then I would say to them, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the B, the G, the E. So I'm going down the chord tones and I'm going to walk up the scale. So I'm going to go B, G, E, F, G, A, and then repeat that. B, G, E, F, G, A, and just repeat it. And do that a few times and let them see how lovely that sounds. Sounds really nice. I can see that they're starting to be sold at this point on the idea that scales are pretty cool or different to what they might have thought. And then I say to them, if I practice that a lot, that B, G, E, going down the chords and up the scale, it will sound really, really nice. And I can use that for an improvisation. And have a listen to this. Same thing, but just throwing it around a little bit. And I would get them to do the same thing, even after a second, even sometimes in a first lesson, they can hit a B, a G and an E, and they can walk back up the scale, definitely by the second lesson. And they all say the same thing to me. I've had this said to me so many times. I never thought about major scales in this way. I wish that somebody had explained this to me early on, and I get the point. I get how beautiful they are, because a scale doesn't have to start at the root and go to the root and come back up and down and just do it for your exam. It's a beautiful set of notes that hang out together, and as you can see, I'm quite passionate about this because I want to change this way of thinking. As far as apps are concerned, you can do this in a variety of ways. You don't have to have session band, and unfortunately session band are only available on iOS, which is the like iPads and iPhones, which is a bit of a shame really. And you can do this in other ways. So you could go to YouTube and you could type in major scale backing track and find something on YouTube. What I really like about these apps is that I can manipulate this app so that I can change the tempo, I can slow it down or speed it up, just in case you don't know what change the tempo means, and I can also change the pitch really easily. So I could change this into D flat major or D major or whatever pitch, and I can also change the style just within this one app. I've got a whole bunch of styles, so I could change it into Latin groove and go apply style, and now it will have a different sound, a different genre, which is very, very cool. And there's a whole raft of these session band apps. Once again, I'm not being paid by session band, that you can get, that have got loads and loads and loads of different genres on them so that you can practice. I can also change this to, if I go into edit and touch this, I can change this into a minor scale, and that will now play as a minor scale, which sounds like this. And I can practice my minor scales in the same way. Absolutely brilliant. Sounds great, really, really fun to practice with. And that's why I use apps, and that's not the only app that I use. I also use iReal Pro a great deal. I use Amazing Slowdowner a great deal. I think that those apps are absolutely fantastic. I also use Quartet a lot. Quartet is just fantastic. It's also made by the same people who make Session Band. They've got 150 jazz backing tracks, and I aspire to be a Dave O'Higgins type player. I'm not quite there yet, but I would love to be, and I practice on a regular basis to Quartet, and it's really, really good. So I do recommend that you use these apps. I have made another video about the apps that I use, but I just wanted to sort of demonstrate how I use these, how I use this particular app for practice, and how I inspire clients to get into their major scales using apps, and I thoroughly recommend that you do. I'd like to say thank you to all the people that have put positive comments. I've had the most amazing comments, mind-blowing really, like your videos are the best on YouTube. I mean, can you imagine? It's like, oh my gosh, really? But thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you also to the people that have bought me coffees and supported me, because virtually all my equipment is really ancient and needs updating. So anything I make is going to go into that and hopefully make better videos. So thank you very much for your support. I really massively appreciate it. And I want to give a shout out to Howard Titchler, who became a member on Buy Me a Coffee. Sir, I'm very grateful to you, and please do contact me regarding some of the benefits that you'll get from being a member on Buy Me a Coffee. There's some really cool benefits, and he is my first member, I can't believe it, on Buy Me a Coffee. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, and I want to give back to you, so please do contact me. If you'd like to buy me a coffee or become a member, have a look on my Buy Me a Coffee. There's things that you can buy as well, backing tracks and stuff. And if there's stuff that you'd like, if there's stuff that you'd like me to talk about or discuss with you, if I can help you in some way, then let me know, because you know, this is the stuff that I get my inspiration from, the feedback that people give me. I must go. Have a fabulous day. Thank you so much for watching, and links in the description below to the apps that I've been using. Take it easy. My name's Lyndon. Bye.